Welcome back, everybody, to Utility Sports. In today's video, we are going to be covering the best players remaining in the NBA playoffs. Obviously, we are to the conference championships. There's a lot of great matchups, between the two conferences, and a lot of talented players left in the field. So I think it's kind of interesting to revisit and take a look at some of the best guys that are remaining. And I'm going to rank 10-1 with these teams that are remaining yet in the playoffs. Hit that subscribe button if you are new. We cover a lot of NBA content, so don't miss out. Now we're going to jump to number 10 here. And this is a player that doesn't get a lot of national recognition. That's Jalen Brunson. He's been absolutely terrific for the Mavericks, a total game changer. When you look at the Mavericks, when he's in the lineup, he's a guy that really sparks this offense. And you can put him in there when Luka's not in. He plays alongside of Luka really well. There's so much to like about Jalen Brunson's game. He's getting so much better as a scorer. He's a playmaker. Jalen Brunson's the real deal. People definitely need to start realizing this. There's a couple of other players that you could definitely consider at this spot as well, but Jalen Brunson, with what he's done so far this postseason, has proven he's one of those true postseason guys that can get the job done, and he's been super consistent for the most part. There's been a couple of games where he's disappeared just a little bit. However, Jalen Brunson's the real deal. Now, the next guy here is Andrew Wiggins. A lot of people don't like Andrew Wiggins on a national level. A lot of this stems from his time in Minnesota. It obviously did not work out there. Got traded to the Warriors, and things really started to click for Andrew Wiggins, especially on the defensive end. He's improved so much in that area. It's a lot of it has to do with being in the correct system. Andrew Wiggins has also been a very talented scorer. He's gotten so much more efficient shooting the three ball as well. This is a guy that can, score on all three levels. I think when you look at his game, it's definitely evolved in his time in Golden State. I think that's really crucial for the Golden State Warriors. Another go-to guy, a guy that can put the ball in the hoop. Also, he has improved so much as a defender. A lot of people definitely used to nag him when he was with the Timberwolves, just lackluster defense. However, a lot of that came in, some of those very uncompetitive seasons that the Wolves had. And now when you're trying to compete for a championship, obviously defensive things are very much a mindset and an effort thing. Andrew Wiggins has definitely stepped up in that department. So a lot of credit to him and how his game has changed since arriving in Golden State. Now, the next player I have is Bam Adebayo. You think about a player that brings a lot of energy on, both ends of the floor, especially on the defensive end. He's so switchable, can guard multiple positions, a good rim protector, a guy that can play out with, a lot of perimeter players in space, which is really crucial, especially when it comes to postseason time. When you look at the guys that definitely can take away your best weapon, Bam Adebayo is one of them. So consistent defensively and offensively, an opportunistic scorer. So I like Bam Adebayo. I think he offers so much on the defensive end. He can be a true defensive anchor for a team. And obviously the Miami Heat, play really great team defense. However, Bam Adebayo is one of those big reasons why, they're so good defensively. Now we look at Draymond Green, another guy that is the heartbeat of this Golden State Warriors team. And Draymond Green does a lot of things very well. Not a terrific shooter. That's not one of his strengths. But you look at as a defender, he is so good, especially as a help side defender. He's a really good playmaker. Does a lot of nice things, really good at cutting at opportune times, and just making the right play has been the MO his entire career. And even at the age he's at right now, he is getting older. However, his game is still super valuable when you look at the grand scheme of things and what he does for this team. I think people don't give him enough credit. Part of it has to do with some of his personality and, what he likes to show on a nightly basis. Sometimes rubs people the wrong way. However, when you look at him from a pure basketball standpoint, Draymond Green is really impressive, despite him not being, one of those go-to scorers. Definitely he can score, but it's not, to the level of a lot of these other players on this list. It's what he does outside of scoring is what's super impressive about him. And obviously, he just continues to do his thing throughout the postseason. And then we're going to follow that up with KLAY Thompson, and KLAY Thompson, obviously coming off that injury, trying to really get things going. And we've seen some flashes of the old KLAY Thompson. I think that's pretty clear and obvious that he's a terrific shooter. He's still a good defender. And it's hard to deny how great him and Steph Curry are together. KLAY Thompson's super valuable because he can just shoot the lights out of the ball. And obviously one of those players that once he gets going, it's very, very tough to stop him. In a postseason setting, it's super dangerous to go up against a guy like KLAY Thompson. Now, the next player I have is Jaylen Brown. I mean, when you look at what he can do offensively and defensively, there's so much to love about his game. I don't think there's any question that he's, one of those glue guys for the Celtics team. I think when you consider where he's at from the standpoint of what he can do offensively, once again, this is another player that continues to evolve his game. He could be a shot creator, really good at slashing to the rim. Defensively, he's kind of a dog as well. So that's another thing you have to consider here. Jaylen Brown is a terrific player in his own right. And I think when you consider where the Boston Celtics are, a lot of it has to do with him on the offensive and defensive end. He's a big time playmaker, shot maker, and can be a go-to guy on his own team. He plays a great Robin. I mean, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, that, I don't like calling him a Robin, but I mean, realistically, he's not the top option on this team. We will get to that in a little bit. Following that up is Jimmy Butler. Now, a lot of people are torn on Jimmy Butler. Some people think, when they look a lot at that regular season and say, well, he's not that good of a player, but then in the postseason, he just turns into a different animal. I think he's made that very, very clear that, in a lot of his postseason runs, it's been impressive. With the Miami Heat, Jimmy Butler has been a big part of what they do. During the regular season, he did not shoot the ball well from three. And in this postseason, he's totally turned up. He's a terrific mid-range shooter. He's a really good defender. One of those true two-way guys. Jimmy Butler has proven time and time again. He is that dude in the playoffs. And, once again, it's another player that the media is very torn on. There's a lot of people that don't like him. Part of it's with the whole personality thing. But at the same time, you have to look at him as one of those go-to guys that can lead a team potentially to a championship. He's definitely got his team in a good position right now. Obviously, they're trying to make it out of that Eastern Conference, but Jimmy Butler, he's going to have to continue to shoot the ball well in order for them to go all the way. So a lot of credit to him and how he's turned up his game in this postseason. Now we get to Jayson Tatum. This guy is a bona fide star. I think that's pretty clear and obvious. Once again, another 3-level scorer, a guy that has hit a lot of tough shots in his career. When the game's on the line, put the ball in his hands, and he'll absolutely go get a bucket for you. And I think it's really impressive too. He's an underrated rebounder. That's something that I've kind of noticed after watching him more and more. He is very, very underrated in that department. Jayson Tatum as a scorer is supernatural and a guy that can take you out the dribble, get to the hoop. He'll hit. There's so much he can do from an offensive standpoint. It's impressive to watch his progression throughout his entire career. So Jayson Tatum, it was between him and Jimmy Butler is a very, very difficult decision for me. Considering, I like what Jimmy brings a little bit more on the defensive end, but Jayson Tatum is a more talented offensive threat. And I decided to take that. So Jayson Tatum here. Now we followed up with Steph Curry. With all the things that Steph Curry does to a defense, it's incredible because you have to change your entire game plan around him and really force the ball out of his hands if they can, which it's very tough because when he doesn't have the ball in his hands and he's an off-ball player, he's just as dangerous. Obviously, you want the ball in Steph Curry's hands to score and play make, but when they're truly denying him the ball and he's having to be an off-ball player, he's one of the best that's ever done it. You look at him running off the screens, catching and shooting, pin down screens. And the thing that makes him even more dangerous is his ability to finish around the rim or get to the rim is super underrated part of his game. Now, obviously, he's not the flashiest in terms of finishing at the rim, but he has so much touch to his floaters and just being around there. That's the underrated part of his game. His ability to shoot the 3 ball is unlike anything we've ever seen in the history of the game. So he's so transcendent in that way. And I think he continues to impress people. Despite us seeing this year after year after year, Steph Curry just continues to do his thing, and having him at this spot is totally warranted, in my opinion. It's so difficult to contain him on a nightly basis. And when he gets hot, it's unbelievably tough to stop. There's been many, many teams that have tried, and it's just been tried and true. Multiple championships come from this, and that's why Steph Curry's here. Then Luka Doncic is the #1 player remaining in the playoffs, in my opinion. His game offensively is unstoppable. He made Mikal Bridges looked like an unplayable defender against him. It doesn't really matter what you throw at Luka Doncic. This guy knows how to score. He knows how to, really draw on the defense, play make. He's one of the best playmakers in the entire league. His passing vision is incredible. His ability to hit the step back three is crazy. And obviously the defense is something that people love to bring up about Luka Doncic. But when it comes down to it, this is a guy that can get a stop if needed. He's not an unplayable defender, but obviously he's not to the level that you would hope. But Luka Doncic is a terrific scorer, a guy that has so much in his bag. He's added the mid-range to his game. His ability to hit three after three in contested situations is unbelievable. You see when this guy gets on a roll, and then when they really start to force the ball out of his hands, this is what the great players do. They make plays for others, wide open corner threes. After passing out of a very tough double team or a trap, it doesn't matter. This guy seems to always make the correct read. So that's why, to me, Luka Doncic is the best player in the entire playoffs that are remaining. Now, this is a very subjective list. I know there's going to be people disagreeing or agreeing with this list. So let me know in the comment section below who your top 10 players in the playoffs are. I think is a very interesting discussion. And when I look at it top to bottom, there's a lot of great players remaining out of these conference championship games. So let me know in that comment section what you think. Hit that subscribe button if you are new. Also leave a like on today's video. Thanks again for stopping by, and we will catch you in the next video.